Hello and good afternoon. My name is Nyoka Lynn and happy Wednesday. So I've had some things on my mind for the last few days and I kind of struggled sharing them, but I figure, oh, what the hell, I may as well. So I guess it's 9 years ago now, I lived in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in this little one, actually it was a little two-bedroom apartment. And I had quite a lot of things happen to me there. I um I started out noticing I had this little angel, this little red resin angel sitting on an end table. On the other end table there was a little white resin angel. And then up on my TV stand I had a little green resin angel. I bought them from the place that I worked. Anyway, so I lived alone, and I'm pretty much a creature of habit in my house, and I like everything nice. So if anything is moved, I know. Okay, so this one particular day I came home from work, opened the door, came in, and I noticed that the little white angel had turned completely around and she was facing the wall. And I looked at it and I thought, well, that's strange. Okay. So I went and put my purse away and stuff, washed my hands, come back out, and I'm looking at this little white angel facing the wall, and I'm thinking, what the heck? So I look at the other angels, and they're just fine. They're still in the same place I put them. So I went to the little white angel and I turned her around. She had a little white dress on, holding a little bouquet of flowers. I turned her around to the way she was supposed to be. And I brushed it off. I'm thinking, I don't know how that happened. I was too tired to even worry about it. So that was that. So the next day, I came home. And the first thing I did was I looked at the white angel. And she was still where I put her. And I looked over to the other two angels. I don't know why I was looking at them, but I did. I went and looked at them. The little red one turned just a little bit, enough for me to notice. And I looked and I said, I'm just imagining things now, right? So back then I used to smoke. So I had my little dinner and I didn't smoke in my apartment. I came outside with my cigarettes and I was sitting on the step. And one of my neighbors from downstairs, she said, hey, she says, did you hear about your neighbor next door? And I was like, no. She said, yeah, she passed away. I was like, you're kidding me. I guess she had had a heart attack and stroke. Now she lives on the other side of that wall, the very wall that the white angel was looking at. That's the first thing that I thought in my head, and I said, coincidence? But how did that white angel turn? I can promise you, I did not turn her facing the wall. But anyway, so I got chills, and I thought, that's interesting. So then, the next day, I came home, didn't even think about anything, put my stuff away, and had my dinner, whatever, and I was sitting on my sofa and just put my feet up. I was just kind of relaxing, and right across from where I was looking, I see the red angel. Now, she has turned from, like, say, this to this. Now, it's noticeably turned. I got up. I thought, are we having little earthquakes or something around here? What is the deal? I'm looking at the floor, seeing if it's, slanted. Nothing else on the table shifted. And I thought, this is really crazy. So I called my friend and I told her what happened with the white angel, and I told her what happened with the red angel. And she said, did you move it back? And I said, yeah, I did. I put it back to the way I originally had it. She goes, don't touch it. See what happens. So that's what I did. So over like the next week and a half, 2 weeks, that thing made a full circle all the way around. Sound crazy? Well, I'm thinking somebody's messing with me. Now, I'm the only one that lives there. Nobody's been in my apartment. So something around me is messing with me. And I mean, it wasn't harmful. It was kind of playful when you think about it. Well, then one weekend, it was a Sunday, I was off from work, and I was relaxing, just having an easy day with my feet up, and I had my TV on. Now I'm looking over here to my left, and I'm watching TV. Now, you know how you just know, you get this feeling that somebody is looking at you? Yeah, I had that feeling. And when I turned like this, I turned to the right and I looked, and right there at the beginning, the starting of my little hallway there, I saw, okay, you ready? I saw a little being, had to be about 3.5, 4 feet, the max, kind of like peeking around the corner at me. And it definitely had the big head and little big eyes and little features and nose and mouth. And when I looked at it, I got to look at it and I was like, and boom, it was gone. Now, I'm thinking, what in the world is that? So I get up and I very softly walk across the floor, and I'm peeking in the bedrooms and nothing is there. Now, one of those bedrooms I had set up, it was my healing room. I used to do energy work, and I still had my table set up in there and my crystals and whatever. And I looked in there. I checked the back door. There's nothing there in the apartment. So I sat there and I thought, all right, you're messing with me. You're the one that's turning the angel. And I just got so tickled by it. And I wasn't really afraid. It startled me, actually. Now, the thing I want to address is people call them aliens. I don't like the word aliens. Extraterrestrial. I think it's kind of crazy because people have asked me, do you believe in aliens? I'm like, I think it's kind of crazy not to think that of all the universes, not just this one, but all the universes, that we're it. Kind of crazy to think that, don't you think? So, yeah, do I believe in extraterrestrials? Without a doubt. Without a doubt. hmm I remember back in 96, I believe it was, 95 or 96, I had gone out to do a cleaning job. And my oldest boy was home, my youngest boy was home, my daughter, and this one girl that I was tending to for a little bit. And when I got home, they were all hiding in the dark in a corner in their room. And I'm thinking, in my son's room, and I'm like, what are you doing? And my son says, Mom, do you see it? Did you see it? See what? Well, there were 3 diamond-shaped ships, craft, I don't know what they were, hovering up there in the sky. And I thought, what the heck? I sent them back in the house. It's nighttime now. I can see them. I sit in my chair, I light a cigarette, and I'm looking up there and I'm thinking, maybe it's the car place shining something up in the sky. I'm trying to make every sensible solution to this. But then I just accepted it and I thought, well, why not? Why not? And all of a sudden, all 3 of them just went shoo, straight up and gone. So yeah, I've seen a few craft. I've seen things. Maybe I'll share another time. But do I believe? Yeah, I had this little being right there in my apartment. Do I believe he was there? Absolutely. I saw him with my own eyes. I wasn't delusional. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. And I certainly wasn't sleepy or anything. I was just sitting there and enjoying a program. So yeah. And I see them a lot in meditation in my mind's eye. Yes. And I know that I've seen Arcturian, and I know I've seen ancient grays. I know I've seen, I think they call them insectoids. I was very aware of one. They're big. They're very big. They're tall and very big. I was very aware of one in my bedroom um, when I lived in Florida. Yeah. I'm very aware of, I'm not sure the name of the being, but she was blue and she was quite pleasant, smiling on the tall side. Yeah. So, do I believe in extraterrestrial? I absolutely do. And I just wanna make mention. I know there's a lot of things going on out there in the world. These are your family. These are star family. Now that sounds ridiculous to you? Well, look, it's pretty well known amongst a lot of people that in our DNA we have extraterrestrial blood in our DNA, Anunnaki. I think we all have a little piece of Anunnaki in us. And I'm sure because we are infinite, yes, once you exist, you can't not exist. We've all had many lifetimes on other planets. hmm Sounds crazy? Chew on it. But yeah, so do we have extraterrestrial blood, DNA in our blood? Yeah, we absolutely do. And maybe, some folks have more of one than the other. But yeah, we do. So yes, I absolutely do believe seeing is believing. Believing is seeing. I think it's because I think it's because I do believe and I'm open, and I guess because I'm sensitive to a lot of things, I was able to see. I think it's maybe because of a frequency, I guess, because I was really flowing in my gifts at that point. So I believe I had enough frequency, high frequency in me to see. I don't know. That's just my guess. But yeah, so yeah, I was just trying to be funny about believing is seeing, or seeing is believing. It's believing is seeing. If you believe it and you're not afraid of it, you're going to see it. But like I said, don't be misguided, fooled, whatever. These beings are not going to hurt you. Mm-mm. They're not going to try to scare you in any way. And do I believe they're going to be showing up? Absolutely. It's time. It is so time. Yes. And I, for one, am thrilled. I am indeed. Yeah. So we'll be meeting our star family in the next few years. Be open to it. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. They're not here to hurt anybody. And are there extraterrestrials living on Earth? There always have been. Yes. You may be walking by and you might be walking and one walks by you. You may sit and have a conversation with one. hmm You may have one living right next door. Oh, yes, indeed. But don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. God, source, the source of all that is, created all that is. Yes, yes. They're very much a part of all that is. Yes. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. There's nothing to be afraid of. So if there's something flying around or showing up and it's scaring the bejesus out of you, or it's hurting somebody, that is not authentic. That is phony. Yeah. No one's here to hurt you. All right. So I shared that, and I'm glad I did. It's been on my mind a few days. And I was like, really? Really? Why not? Why not? Okay. It's a beautiful day out there. Enjoy it. My name is Nayoka Lynn. Enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.